bro. Let's get ready to do this thing. Let's get ready to have some fun. Late ill kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people? Today, coming with another wonderful episode of Loungin, man. We are here. We made it another Friday. It is beautiful to see y'all sunshiny faces. I'm glad y'all up in the spot. Big shout out to Markeith Collins in the chat, mad early. Big shout out to everybody else that's up in here lurking, but ain't saying nothing. So, with that said, I am not by myself. Oh, no. I'm with Lady Lisa. Say what's up.
Hey, y'all.
Boog's worthy in the spot, too. Let's get it. That's right. So, I'm rocking the Arcatron shirt. Before we even get started, don't forget to check out Arcatron, ARCKATRON.com. The Space Bridges and stores. I'm on it. Anwar Hassan is on it. PL Parker Lewis is on it. You got the full four horsemen under the awesome tutelage, instruction, guidance of Arcatron. You need to check that out for real. So, we had an interesting week. You know what? Can we let's do some good news first. Okay. Yeah, we can do the Negro League first.
Do the Negro
League first. We're gonna have some good news.
Here we go.
And then also, guys, let us know in the chat if you can hear us. Just put a 1 in the chat if you can hear us. We're working with some new stuff. There's been some firmware updates and everything. Just trying to make sure y'all good. But let us know, you know what I'm saying? Let us know about the Negro League. Drop a knowledge on us.
Long overdue. Negro Leagues now part of Major League Baseball, stats counted in MLB records. Now, this is good news, but as usual, they doing stuff for us after things are done and over.
Yeah.
People dead and gone.
Yeah, people dead and gone.
But you know, whatever. Okay.
Could have gave them the flowers while they were here, but you know.
Okay.
You know.
So, about 3,400 players were part of these 7 leagues that existed from 1920 to 1948. Mm-hmm. Major League Baseball on Wednesday announced that records of Negro Leagues players will be included in the game's official statistics in a long overdue recognition. Before Jackie Robinson broke professional baseball's race barrier with the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1947, black players were barred from MLB play, depriving many baseball fans from seeing some of the best hitters, pitchers, and fielders of the 20th century. All of us who love baseball have long known that the Negro Leagues produced many of our game's best players, innovations, and triumph against the backdrop of injustice, MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred said in a statement. Mm-hmm. We are now grateful to count the players of the Negro Leagues where they belong, as major leaguers within the official historical record. The records and stats of 3,400 players who competed in 7 leagues for black players between 1920 and 1948 will be included in MLB records, officials say. For historical merit, today is extraordinarily important. Having been around so many of the Negro Leagues players, they never looked to MLB to validate them, Negro Leagues Baseball Museum President Bob Kendrick said in a statement. But for fans and for historical sake, this is significant. It really is.
Yeah.
The 7 leagues that will now be included in official records are the original Negro National League, 1920 to 31, the Eastern Colored League, 1923 to 28, the American Negro League, 1929, the East-West League, 1932, the Negro Southern League, 1932, the Second Negro National League, 33 to 48, and the Negro American League from 1937 to 48. The Negro Leagues of 20 to 48 produced some of the greatest players in the sport's history, including 32 Hall of Fame members. 32.
Don't sleep. So, guys, long overdue. And it's not like we were chasing their admiration, but the importance here is that their stats are added among everyone that played baseball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because their stats had been, kind of marginalized. So now that their stats, have been added to everyone else, see how they're trying to stop me? You see this? See how they're trying to stop us? Can't stop us. But the good thing is that now their stats are counted among what people consider to be the standard. When they were outdoing the standard in so many ways on their own.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to call yourself the best when you when you shut out a whole segment of society. So, because I mean, that's to a certain degree during the Negro Leagues, that's kind of what happened to. A part of what happened was you had these guys that were calling MLB and Negro games. And they were like, yo, look, so-and-so is all right, but you ain't seen old boy in Cleveland or whatever.
These colored boys play.
Yeah, it's like, so, that on top of many other things, there were many people that were going to both games and could see like, yo, look, y'all ain't really playing against the best.
It's like we're missing out. Some people were saying, I'm sure, we're missing out on some great baseball.
Yeah.
And others were like, doesn't matter, they're colored.
Yeah, don't matter. It's like, yo, look. And then I'm pretty sure there were probably a couple of people that might have ruffled feathers saying, you haven't really beat the best. You haven't beat everybody. You know what I'm saying? You ain't beat everybody. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, of course, it's good. I was glad to hear it. At least their stats are counted. And, it's a nice addition. Not to say that we need it, but it's good for baseball to have it counted among everyone's stats.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I thought that was cool. I thought that was cool. What you want to get into next? Because we got a packed show. We got a packed show.
Let's go ahead and get into the weird stuff.
Weird?
Next.
All right.
Do you not know?
I know where you're going. Okay. I know where you're going.
I mean,
go there. Go on.
Me?
Go on.
I think you should read this one.
All right,
this is
so
go up your alley.
Superpowered reparations are hitting the Black community this winter solstice. If you guys were unaware, on December 21st, we are going to rise as melanated people, become empowered with our superpowers. Now, all right, check this. This first comes from a tweet. It comes from a Twitter user, I think BB, where it says, as Black people, genetically we are stronger and smarter than everyone else. We are more creative. On December 21st, our real DNA will be unlocked, and majority will be able to do things that we thought were fiction. Learn who you are as a people. They want to make us average. Now, Boogsworthy said, someone said if Dr. Umar get powers, he gonna turn into Thanos. Man, look, all right, check it. All right, you know what? I'm gonna just read the article straight up. So you heard the tweet. Here comes the article. All right. There I was lounging on the couch, enjoying the pure, unapologetic freedom of having a weekend off when I stumbled upon this tweet that says, so Black people, since we're going to get superpowers on December 21st, y'all going to be a supervillain or a superhero? Or y'all going to go the supervillain route or a superhero route? And he said, I felt a jolt run down my spine, the inner workings of my quirk, the superpowers in My Hero Academia, tickling at the edge of my fingertips. One of my black cats rolled over and meowed in question, its fur covering what was surely the makings of a hereditary crescent moon mark, Luna, the advisor cat from Sailor Moon. Was it time to awaken my dormant abilities? Was my cat about to alert me to other Black people in the area who are also planetary warriors of love and justice? All right, so guys, we've seen it trending. We've seen everybody. We've seen people be showing Dr. Manhattan with the kufi on in the ankh. Yo, check this.
It's perfect too because look how she looking at him like what?
She looking at him like, yo, keep this. All right, so I brought this up because it's fun. We don't get to have a lot of fun on this show. My question to you is, what power are you hoping that you get on the 21st? Monday is right around the corner, man. Prepare yourself. On Monday, what power you want? Lady Lisa, I'm going to let you lead off. What power do you want on the 21st? You know what I'm saying? Let me know. You know what I'm saying? Do you want a combination of powers? What you want? Let me know what you got.
Goodness. I want the I just want just like everlasting energy.
Oh, you want? So you want to have everlasting energy?
Just everlasting energy.
All right, word.
Cool. I don't need to sleep. I mean, I could sleep. It might help me a bit, but I don't need to sleep.
You don't need to sleep. All right, no doubt.
Just be up.
You know what I'm saying? Have the energy all the time.
Yep.
Cool. Now, for myself, all right, guys, this is NERDSoul. You see the wall behind me. Part of me wants the Force. A large part of me wants the Force. All right? A large part of me wants to be a speedster. I love The Flash. I love Excel. Excel is another comic book that's super dope by Damien. I can't think of his name right now. But anyway, I want to be a speedster too. I got a little love for that. But then I've always loved the power of the muscle mimic as well. And I think I might put this above all. The muscle mimic is someone who can do whatever he or she sees. So if I watch a video of somebody doing gymnastics, I can immediately go out and do the same routine, have the same skills, whatever. Because in that, if I have that power, I can sit down and watch a full days of like kung fu flicks, all right? And then watch a full days of like taking guns apart and putting guns. Yo, it'll be just like downloading the Matrix, all right? I'll be mad sweet. Watch a little, the Learning Channel and maybe some, Discovery Health. I'll be like a scientist that can also fight, all right? I'll be mad sweet, all right? That's all I'm saying on December 21st, and then also kick up my metabolism because with all this movement, a brother will have to shred a few down. I'll look a little different, You might not notice NERDSoul with the six-pack, but I promise you, I will still be the same loving guy that you've always known, out there protecting the streets against they're going to make sentinels. And when I say they, I mean white supremacy. They're definitely making sentinels, but we going to be here to stop them. All right, I'm letting y'all know. Everybody, holla at me, because we going to have powers. we gonna squad up, because when they start making sentinels, we going to have to fight back. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have we going to be here. Boogsworthy says, low-key, I kind of want something like Nin off of Hunter x Hunter. You know what? That's an anime I still need to check out. What is that power? Let me see. Thomas Flower says, the power to lose the keg from around my waist. Yo, man, so that means you can get, you can be like the Flash. You can have a high metabolism where just like, and just burn all the fat.
Okay, but this is a random thought when you're talking about the Flash. Okay, since he has all this super speed and he's doing all this kind of stuff, don't that mean that he has like a whole lot of callus on his feet? And don't that mean that he's at risk of getting some serious burn on his legs from when he... Nah,
because he has a suit that stops the friction. It wicks it. It wicks away the friction. It kind of keeps it so he can be like... Whoosh. So he has a suit that's like aerodynamically with the nano weave. Well, Star Labs made it, man. I don't know. Somebody special made it.
His face don't be fully covered, do it?
But see, in the Speed Force, his face is just, don't ask no questions, all right?
I'm just saying, because
his face is super protected.
I would think it's like being out in the wintertime and it's cold and getting all chafed.
But see, he's so fast.
He's so fast that what?
That there's like a barrier around his mouth area.
No barrier around his mouth area?
No, I'm saying it creates a barrier around his, because he's quick. All right?
You just making up stuff.
Man. Boogsworthy said lightning power. See, look, man, I see you. We here. Shouts to Little Miss Chocolate. Nice to see you up in here. Boogsworthy says Nin is complicated, but basically it's a power that really that's really personal, and you can make it into anything you need it to be. All right, cool. So you want to be one of those jack of all trades guys. All right, cool. No problem. I get you. You know what I'm saying? But I think muscle mimic for me with a high metabolism, I could do that. You know what I'm saying? Except just like Kid Flash, I got to keep like a Snickers on me or something, because when I'm running around like that, I can faint. But, you know what I'm saying, besides that, I'll be mad sweet. You know what I'm saying? And remember, we got to squad up, because when that midnight hit, and whenever we start changing metaphysically and start manifesting, be prepared. You know what I'm saying? So, tie things down in your house and just be careful, because you don't know what power you're going to get. You don't know. You might be telekinetic or something, and you wake up and you making stuff fly around the room. Be careful, because you never know, man. When they unlock, when the powers unlock and the abilities, I'm just saying, for real, protect yourself. Now, on the serious side, they do be trying to make you feel like you average, though. They do try to make you feel like what you do is ghetto and trashy. They do try to make you feel like what you do ain't deserving, or it's not worthy of views or worthy of attention, and then go steal it and be like, this is so chic. Oh, this is so fashion forward. Oh, it's edgy. You know what I'm saying? So there's, the poster has a point on that one. They will they'll try to make you feel mad average, then steal your stuff and act like it's so amazing.
Yeah.
So got a point on that. But you know what I'm saying? It was good for us to have some fun, go down. Y'all know the powers I want. You know what I'm saying? I got a list. You know what I'm saying? Don't sleep. Brother, you don't want a brother with a force. Black Jedi out here? Aha! Don't be playing. So, Lisa.
Why'd you sound like an old man? Ha ha!
Cuz I can't wait to be an old black man, yo. I grew up around old black men. I want to be an old black man. All right?
It'll come soon enough. It'll come soon
I'm going to
enough.
buy a Lincoln. I'm going to have one of them straw hats with like a short set and those sandals. All right? And I'm coming to all y'all's cookouts. I'm going to tell all the kids what they need to be doing.
With the black dress socks on?
With the black dress socks. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man.
And the shirt that look like a bowling shirt?
Yep.
Yeah.
Andre Atkins said, give me the Force or Goku's powers, which is what? Just everything? Like, Goku is just like, I'm Superman times like a billion. Like, no matter who it is, I'm going to be able to beat him because I have ultra instinct. Oh, man. But yeah, so what we got next, Lisa? What we got next?
Let's talk about this stimulus that we ain't gonna get. we ain't getting no stimulus.
All right, look. I actually think that a stimulus of some sort will pass.
But when?
One is when.
After everybody been kicked out of their apartment and it don't matter no more because they homeless anyway?
Yeah, here's, bruh, they up in here arguing over to give people $600. Meanwhile,
they argued over what's the equivalent of their lunch money.
Yeah. Oh, meanwhile, let's not forget 2 TARP bailouts. Let's not forget all the money they gave to small businesses. And what did I tell y'all about small business? Small business is not your mama that has a bakery. All right. Small business is not your sister that has her little accounting service on her own in her little office space of like 500 square feet. That is not who they're talking to. Small business can be defined by any company that has less than 500 employees. At one point in time, and I can't remember if it is now, I don't know, but at one point in time, Hulu was considered a small business. Netflix was considered a small business. And I'm not talking about Netflix like 20 years ago or something. I'm talking about Netflix like 2 years ago. Like, come on, man. So this is what, when they say small business, they ain't talking about you that's struggling and grinding with your lawn care business. They ain't talking about your cousin that's out there with their, bail bondsman business or something. They're not talking about that. They're talking about hooking up their friends. Look at last time what happened with the SBA. They got they got literal schools. They got Harvard.
Man,
They got Harvard taking money.
And the thing is, thing with that, Harvard and other places like that should not have taken the money. But
their market cap was like $2 billion or something.
But the real issue is that they were allowed to.
True.
That they, the way that the bill was written was so that they could. That's the problem. Same thing with rich people not paying taxes. They're not gonna pay it if the law allows them not to. They're not gonna be like, oh, this is wrong. Let me give you my. So
you gotta hate. You can't hate the player. You gotta hate the game.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the game be letting them do it. I mean, people are gonna do what you let them do. So on one hand, I get being angry. Like for instance, with Donald Trump, I get it. And don't get me wrong, he wrong for only paying that whatever he paid $75 or $200,
But if he did
whatever
it
it was.
legally,
But
is it his fault?
the government is what let him do it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't throw all the, oh God, I'm like semi-defending this dude. But anyway, I can't have so much heat for him when the government out here doing whatever they want. No people out here hurting. Talk about $600. People have been deferring payments for, I don't know, like 8 months, 9 months, whatever, however long it's been deferring payments. Let's say people have been deferring payments since March, April. Since April. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And y'all up in here arguing over 600, and I know someone's going to come up in this joint with something better than nothing. I know someone is. I know someone going to come up in here. Something better than nothing.
That's not the point.
It's not the point.
And just like you said, you know, there's already been payment, you know, deferments. There has been no discussion whatsoever that the government has had in terms of the regulations of how people are going to be able to pay this back.
Yep.
Because that's the whole thing.
It's going to be a wild west.
Gotta be paid back. So they're going to have to be regulations in terms of, you know, how much somebody can require at a time, and at what point they'll be allowed to kick people out for not being able to pay. Because that's all going to come up.
Yep.
That's all going to come up.
It's going to be a wild west when that stuff happens. And it's going to be predatory as heck. Shouts to Little Miss Chocolate. Nice to see you. Said 600 is not enough money for the people. It's a joke. Thank you. And then Boogsworthy says, I wish people in America collectively had the energy for a general strike. So do I. Because the only thing they understand is violence and money. When I say they, I'm going to leave it to the government right now, but you know who I mean. And then Boogsworthy said a wild one-time payment of $600 is nowhere near enough. Thank you. I can see if they were going to say $600 a week or something like that. They said I can see if they were like, yo, check it. We're putting this thing together for $600 a week for the next year until we get this thing under control.
If they did $600 every 2 weeks, that'd be doing something.
But you know, I'm making an example though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like 600 once, dude. Honestly, you can drop 600 on groceries. Like if you ain't paying attention, depending on like if you just go in there and get what you want, especially if you're hungry when you go to the grocery store, dude. We keep track of like what we do, right? Yeah. You can go to the grocery store and easily spend $300. Yeah. Like that. So I know if you start throwing in like, yo, let me get that New York strip though. Let me get that script though.
Because let's be real.
You know what I'm saying?
If you're eating well, meaning you're not eating all these processed packaged foods. Yep. You know what I mean? If you want to go organic, not even organic. Let's say grass-fed beef only. Let's say that you're eating like fresh fruits and vegetables. You're eating like fresh meat. You're not going into the frozen food section, you know, to have to buy packaged processed stuff, because some people are able to eat that way. Yeah. It's expensive to eat. I'm not even going to say like over the top and it's expensive to eat real food. Let's just be real. It's expensive to eat real food. Go
up in your nice grocery store and tell them, hey, let me go get, don't cut it. Give me the whole plank of that salmon and see what that thing ring up for. You'll be like, that'll be $63. You'll be like, oh, what? Take half of this bag. Look. Lama, you funny. Whole Foods is, Foods is whole check. Like, I will say, since Amazon bought them, they did drop their prices on some things.
Look, tell them how much one cucumber is.
Man, all right, so out here in LA, we have Sprouts, we have Trader Joe's, we have Whole Foods. There's other places, right? So I love Sprouts. We love Sprouts.
We did love Sprouts.
But Sprouts got some issues politically that it's like
that we found out about.
Got to get off that narcotic. So I went to Whole Foods. One cucumber.
One cucumber.
And they didn't have, like Sprouts has the organic side and then they got the regular side. You know what I'm saying? You can get regular, you know what I'm saying? You can get your GMO cucumber if you want. All right, because I got my GMO cucumbers today.
I think they're GMO.
But I'm just joking because it's not organic. But anyway, they didn't have the regular option. Whole Foods said one cucumber, $2.59, straight up. One cucumber. I went to Sprouts, one cucumber, 79 cents. Thank you. That's what it should cost. Sometimes they be having them 2 for $1. Thank you. That's what it should cost. So, like, Whole Foods, man, bruh, look.
Yeah.
Whole Foods, you can show them. Like, perfect example. Blue Knight just said in Whole Foods, that's why you can go and spend $200 and just get 4 bags of groceries. Peep this. I just went to Sprouts today, $110, 6 bags of groceries. Sprouts ain't joking. Sprouts is for real.
Look, in LA.
In LA, Sprouts be getting it. But at the same time, Sprouts got some issues politically that I don't align with. But
you know, like what we gonna
600
do?
On the low, say you're a family of 4. You could probably easily drop 600.
Oh yeah.
You could probably easily drop
Especially
600.
depending on if you got teenagers.
Oh
or
yeah,
whatnot.
if you got teenagers, up. Lami said Aldi for the win. Yeah, Aldi will run you up. Aldi will run you up real quick. Don't let them commercials fool you. Like, oh, we've got deals. Oh, they got deals compared to what they're used to. Like, so 600 is a joke. And they're up here, and the funny thing is, you have the Republicans that don't want to give it at all, and then you have the Democrats acting like they're really fighting for something. It's like, once again, you see two sides of the same BS coin. It's like, oh, thank you, Nancy Pelosi. Thank you, Chuck Schumer, for fighting for $600 one time when the last money we got was months and months and months ago. And thank God, I will say this, not everyone has been unemployed. But you have to think of those that were unemployed. You know what I'm saying? We can't just use everybody who was able to keep a job and work from home as the basis.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I was able to work from home. Thank God. But not everyone was.
Yeah.
And like, for real. Like, what up, Sandra Thomas? Like, dude, seriously. Like, you can't honestly believe that $600 is enough. And then, shouts to Zias. Zias said, Winku and Big Lots. I got you, I see you, but don't buy no food from Big Lots. I'm just saying, because Big Lots.
Well, you can buy.
But remember?
Yeah.
Remember the bugs in the food?
Yeah, we bought some pasta, and there were bugs.
In the pasta.
Like they were baked into or made into the pasta.
Yes. So you got to be mad careful with your Big Lots. Big Lots is dope for cleaning supplies. I wouldn't eat nothing out of Big Lots, though, because Big Lots be fronting. You know what I'm saying? Big Lots is cool for some things. You know what I'm saying? You want to get your toothpaste on, word. You know what I'm saying?
You can pick up a candy bar or something from there.
Yeah,
but like
be
their
careful.
products, they're, shelved, generic.
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah.
Man, it's just, but it's a joke. It's a joke the way they set this up, where they make it seem like, oh, we're fighting for the people. The Democrats ain't fighting for nobody. Who are the Democrats really fighting for if all they want for us is $600? I can see if they were like, look, we're fighting for $600 per week, per person, because like other governments, we need to pay our people to stay home because now I know there's a contingent of those that are out just because they're out, because they're trying to, because they're trying to rile up stuff. But there's a lot of people that have to get out because they're like, yo, I gotta work. Other governments pay people to stay home because they were like, look, we don't want people outside, so they ain't gonna be able to work. So we're going to have to pay them to not work. So it's a joke. It's a joke of an amount of money. And they dead wrong for even acting like 600 is enough. And we're supposed to be so thankful for 600. You know what I'm saying? When it's like everything, even for people that are still working, everything went up. Dude, your basic pack of like paper towels is crazy now.
Oh my gosh.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
No. So like it's crazy now. So it's like, for real, you gotta come on, man. You gotta let it go. You gotta get up off that stuff like you fighting for the people so hard. Shouts out to Blue Knight said during the pandemic, if you check your prices on groceries, everything went up like 5 to 10 cents. Some things. I've also seen some things double. Boogs where he said they basically giving out a PS5. Yeah, you wanna I got you. So they basically giving out a PS5, which is funny. You know what I'm saying? the way they run it, the way they doing their thing, they know they dead wrong. But we'll see how it plays out. Everybody's situation is different. You know what I'm saying? But 600 is not enough at all. You know what I'm saying? To even imagine trying to make it, especially for people that lost their jobs. You know what I'm saying? People that haven't, things are tight for them as well. But for those that didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, bruh. I mean, those that did, come on, man. 600 is a joke. Like, let's be for real. 600 is a joke. But with that said, NERDSoulite, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need a Snickers. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out Snickers, pay me. No, I'm just playing. So, even though Snickers is one of my favorite candy bars, but I'll slide that to the side. Ain't no promotions for them. So next up, let's get into what I think is well-meaning, but toothless in its bite, and not really getting to the point of what's necessary and what's needed. And I'll give this to Lisa. I'm talking about the California bill that would require police officers to be 25 years or older and have or have a bachelor's degree.
Yeah. So a California legislator is proposing the state require people to get a bachelor's degree or turn 25 before becoming a police officer. Mm-hmm. Assemblyman Reggie Jones Sawyer, Los Angeles, introduced the bill on Monday to the state legislature that is aimed at minimizing police use of deadly force. Supporters of the bill say that more mature and more educated officers are likely to exhibit greater self-control and less likely to use deadly force. This data-driven bill relies on years of study and new understandings of brain development. Sorry, my screen just did what it wanted to do. Okay, just went to another screen.
All right, so basically the idea is that your prefrontal cortex is not done really, how should you say, developing until you're 25 years old. And then they also said that since your prefrontal cortex isn't done developing until you're 25 years old, then that we're going to get there, Zeus. We're going to get there. We here. We're going to get there. So that until you're 25, you're not ready to make those kind of decisions as far as life and death and, heavy decisions like being able to be in control over someone else. That's the argument that they make because they're talking about the prefrontal cortex, which has been scientifically proven. Okay, whatever. Because it says the bill cites multiple studies as the basis for its proposal, including a 2008 study at the Riverside County Sheriff's Department that found that age and education of officers was the main determinant in likelihood to resort to the use of force. Now, cool, I'm glad y'all did do a small study. Y'all did do a study of some sort. Then they also said in that study that those that had bachelor degrees or higher were less likely to also use force. So, with that said, I thank you for doing a study, and I'm glad that you Trust me, thank you. I'm glad you did a study, and I'm glad that you're trying. But this isn't what the people are asking for. You know how it's like, say Zeus, you roll up on me. Zeus and Sandra Thomas come through. They're like, yo, NERDSoul, can we have a pair of socks? And I'm like, man, you know what? Socks would be real cool. How about a pair of shorts? And you'd be like, well, thank you, but we actually ask you for socks. And what we were asking for here is, 1, to defund the police, 2, to get rid of qualified immunity, 3, to start punishing police for what they've done. Punishment meaning, or holding them accountable. What holding them accountable means is to punish them. To punish them means to prosecute them and jail them for real time as a murderer. Now, you know what we've been asking for all summer. So what do you bring us? Some kind of like front end sort of help out-ish kind of thing, which doesn't stop the cops now that are using force at all, because they're already hired, they're already in the force. 2, it also doesn't cover what Zia said earlier. Most cop killers out there that are, killing people are in their 40s or 50s. Just like last week with the young man's name, it escapes me, but they said the dude had been on the force for 17 years. Guess what? If you're 25, you haven't been on the force for 17 years. You've been on the force much longer. Now, I don't know if that man had a bachelor's or not, but we have been getting beat up, shot, all kinds of stuff from officers that were not 18 years old, fresh into the police department, 20 years old. A lot of this stuff has been happening with officers that were well seasoned and actually have numerous complaints against them. Now, I don't know about their education level. I have no idea. But this seems like a way to seem like you're doing something and actually not do something. Because if you read the article, you're like, as a matter of fact, I'm sorry, usually I throw the article in the chat. Here's the article so y'all can see the article in the chat. So USA Today, you can check it out. In the article, they say, quoting, saying, it's with the similar logic that youth must be treated as youth by our criminal justice system, meaning anyone under 25. So if they're youth mentally, then they should not be on the force. Great, I understand that, cool, no problem. Then following up saying, this legislation will reduce the risk of unlawful or impulsive use of force by requiring law enforcement officers to have more full brain maturation before entering high-stress, high-stakes situations. I love how that sounds, but once again, it sounds like you want to seem like you're doing stuff, but you're not really doing stuff. Because I'm pretty sure if we started researching and going back and finding the age of these officers, the age of the officers with Ahmaud Arbery, or the age of the officer with George Floyd, with Botham Jean, with Tatiana Jefferson, any number of people that are escaping me right now because there's so many. You know what I'm saying? Sandra Bland, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, that was citizen violence, but he was an ex-cop, but we'll let that slide. But any of these people in recent history, and then going back to people like Amadou Diallo, going back to people like Eric Garner, Tamir Rice, going back, I bet you if we go back to those people, they're not under 25. Now, I could be wrong. I haven't done the research, but I feel like those people were not under 25. And I would also take the guess that at least some of them probably had a degree or two. You know what I'm saying? I think that this is, it seems like they want to seem like they're doing something and not give it to you. It's like when you're like, yo, I want Cocoa Puffs. And they're like, you know what? We got these Cocoa Rounds. They're really good. They're kind of like what you want. It's like, yo, man, you got Honey Nut Cheerios? we've got honey flavored oats. Would you like those? He's like, no, what we want is qualified immunity gone, defund the police, take the money away and the resources that they have away to be militarized. And then we want you to punish the police for what they do that is wrong. Just the same way you punish us that have less responsibility than they do, and also less power than they do. Got to remember, you want the power, you got to take the responsibility too. You know what I'm saying? You want to be in charge? Cool. Guess what? You got to take the blame. And you want to be in charge on the streets, right? Well, then you got to take the responsibility of being in charge. You can't be in charge on the streets and then be like, oh, well, you know what I mean? I was just scared. So, I just had to shoot everybody. Don't work like that. So we've been asking, what we want. And then we get this bill that's like, all right. I mean, unless you're going to make it retroactive, where any officer that is now under 25 is immediately fired, and any officer that does not have a bachelor's degree at least is also fired. Maybe we can talk. But this is still not what we're asking for at all. And I'm like, who you think you're fooling? Shout out to Sandra Thomas says, black people, when they see us, it's time to play dumb. Let's stop playing. Thank you. It's like, Boogsworthy says a step in the right direction, but not enough. Still need to end qualified immunity, over militarization, and other systemic issues regarding policing in America. Yeah, and then Blue Knight says they also need to require these police to live in the areas they patrol and have their union pensions pay a percentage of these lawsuits by the victims. True, and I would say the percentage they need to be paying is 50, no less than 50. They need to be paying half. Because why is my tax dollars, I ain't shoot nobody. Why is the city's tax dollars going to pay, and while y'all get to have paid vacation? Bruh. And it's like, Little Miss Chocolate said, they're acting like Ted Bundy didn't have degrees under his belt. Thank you. Here's the issue with this. It's upsetting because we all see the bull. And the guy who's writing this, I flow between, all right, Assemblyman Reggie Jones, Reggie Jones Sawyer. I flow between being like, this dude kind of know what he's doing, and he on some kind of like, I don't know, step and fetch type mess, or maybe he really thinks he's doing something good and it's just like, nah, man, you screwing it up. You making it worse. Because I'm like, you a brother. What you think this is supposed to do? So, look, we'll keep our eyes on this and watch this, see what happens. I know there were, I know there were a lot of people that were like, I know there were a lot of people online through the comments regarding this post or this story that were like, yeah, this is great. And I'm like, well, yeah. That's how all black people feel about this story. We're like, I guess. I mean, maybe. Because this covers nothing we talked about. And what are we going to do about the officers that are already on the force that don't have a bachelor's or higher and have already been hurting people in this, that, and the third? What do we do about them? If it was retroactive, I might turn around on this. But I'm like, this is less than a half measure. It's way too little too late. And it's not even what we asked for. Man, look, Reggie Jones Sawyer, you knew better than to throw this mess up. Maybe this makes your white friends and your cop friends that are voters happy, but this is bull. Don't try to throw this on black people like this ain't what we asked for at all. We ain't feeling this. This is some bull all the way. But never know. It might be well-meaning. It just comes off as disingenuous, too little too late, and not even what we asked for. But we'll see. We'll see where that goes. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we try to start it out happy, and we're going to keep rolling. So that's with that one. We'll see. Reggie Jones, I think he's tripping. What's up, Jenna James? Nice to see you. So moving on. Y'all might have heard the audio. A new mixtape come out from your boy Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise, actor, you might know his name. He's out there shooting Mission Impossible 7. And if you're into Mission Impossible, if you like action films, you know that Mission Impossible 4, 5, and 6 have been just on the rise. They've been good, better, best. They've been great films. A lot of action, intrigue, espionage, fighting, you know what I'm saying? Explosions, motorcycles, and cars and stuff. All kinds of cool things. So guess what they filming, y'all? They filming in the Corona timeline. They like, yo, look. If we film this right, if we do this like NBA did the bubble, if we make sure everyone's tested, safe, keep their mask on, we might be able to make this film. We might be able to, fill this industry out with people to keep them employed, give them money, and this, that, and the third. This is important. If we can do it right, then maybe the industry will look at us as an example and we'll be all able to get back to work. Maybe. So, apparently, there was a couple of people that were not adhering to the mask rules. And Tom Cruise goes off. And basically because y'all ain't listening, y'all gonna mess around and get somebody sick. And the last thing we need is a super spreader event at my film. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be for real. I ain't mad at him. He's quoted as saying, "You can tell it to the people who are losing their effing homes because our industry is shut down. It's not going to put food on the table or pay for their college education. That's what I sleep with every night. The future of this effing industry," Cruise said. "So I'm sorry, I'm beyond your apologies. I have told you and now I want it. And if you don't do it, you're out. We are not shutting this effing movie down. Is it understood? If I see it again, you're effing gone." And here's the thing. He ain't wrong. I know I clown Hollywood a lot. But the film industry does pay a lot of people. From carpenters that have to build sets, for special effects people that have to do, of course, all the post-production, to editors, to people that do the lights, to people that pay for set locations and locations get the money for you to film there. There's a lot of money that flows around with the film industry. And with the film industry not being in service, there's a lot of that money that's just stagnant. It's not being spent on the people that are, whether they're drivers for the actors, the security, the craft services. There's all of these behind the scenes people that actually make the movie work. And they're not getting paid. And if they're not getting paid, they're not spending that money. And if they're not spending that money is not generating any kind of movement in the economy. So Tom Cruise is right, because he's also a producer, which means that he's also a boss when it comes to this film. Someone's your boss, it's like they're like your dad. But anyway, and he was talking to them like he was their dad. This, I liken it to your boy at True Kitchen. Everybody on that set is a grown man or woman. Why I got to tell you over and over and over to do something? I am not, if you want to be a child, then you can't work. Labor laws, bruh. So if you can't do what you supposed, which I'm pretty sure they signed in their employee contract. I'm pretty sure, due to the COVID guidelines, I'm pretty sure their employee contract or whatever, when they signed on for this film, had a section for, COVID, keep your gloves on, keep your mask on, don't come around people, eat by yourself, do it, all kinds of stuff. I'm pretty sure it had a whole section for COVID that you signed on, not me, you. So now you signed it and now you want to break it and you want me to just sit here and allow you to break it? Then let's say that this becomes a super spreader event. Is your name going to be in the story? No. It's going to be Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible becomes COVID story or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be come COVID super spreader event. That's what's going to happen. And then you and your little silly self is going to go on home while I'm ruined. You know what I'm saying? Nah, bruh. We ain't playing none of that. We ain't doing none of that. You can get yours and you can go if you want to do that. Because this is my movie. If you don't want to play right, then you can get them out of here. So I ain't mad at Tom on this one. I'm like, Tom said what he was supposed to say. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Tom. He did what he was supposed to do. I ain't mad at him. Look, Tom, it's your world, baby. It's your world. I'm just squirrel. But shout out to the chat. Andre Atkins says, I can't blame Tom for being mad. He shouldn't have to talk to them like they're kids. Thank you. Honestly, that rant that I heard him do sounded like, I've heard a very similar, it wasn't involving COVID because I was a kid, but it sounded very similar to a ranting and a shouting down of myself and the rest of these kids at summer camp way back. You're right. It does sound like he's talking to kids. Only thing is, they're grown people. They're grown people. Not at some summer camp acting like a fool because you're 14. And yes, I was acting like a fool, along with everyone else who was acting like fools. And it was like, we'll send everybody home. But once again, these are grown people. You know what I'm saying? Now, Lady Lisa, do you have any thoughts on, would you like to chime in?
If you would put your mask on and do what you're supposed to do, you ain't got to worry about Tom Cruise and nobody else yelling at you like you a kid. Stop acting like a kid and when nobody yell at you like you a kid.
And trust me, because in the audio, you can hear him walk up to someone and say, and you're gone, and you're going to be gone. So you know, here it is. He yelled at everyone, but it's really probably 3 people that's doing it. It's like 3 or 4 people, but like 50 people got to get yelled at. But it's really like 3 or 4 people.
Because what people are missing is the issue at hand is so many people had already gotten COVID.
Yep.
So it's like, people have already gotten it, and y'all still
playing games.
Still playing
300,000 people plus have died from this joint.
But I mean,
and y'all still playing games.
They were saying, what was it, like 12 people from the set?
Yeah.
Had already gotten COVID.
Yep.
Like, it's
and you're
already
trying not to have a super spreader event. Yo.
So I don't get it. I don't get it.
But now I will say this: I'd be the one person on set that I'm like, I know he ain't talking about me. And I'll be looking at straight at the person. I got on my mask while he yelling now. I'd be staring straight at the person that I know he talking about. I'd be like, Ted, do you hear him? Do you hear him, Ted? You know Ted is one of the people that's doing it. Ted, Catherine, do you hear him?
Not Catherine.
Look, I'm telling you. I'm letting you know it's a Ted or a Catherine. Or a Ted or a Catherine type. You know what I'm saying? Man, but yeah, Tom, look, do your thing, man. Look, keep it real. Keep it real out them streets, man. Let them know.
About your old funky feelings.
Okay, yeah. And then people like, what, Tom Cruise, what is it, was it Deadline? Who wrote, either Deadline or Variety? No, I don't think it was Variety. I think maybe Deadline, but somebody wrote this stupid article like, what Tom Cruise's rant really means. He explained what it meant, stupid.
Yeah,
what you think you so deep? You writing an article, what it really means. You ain't got to decode that. He said exactly what he meant.
Yep.
There was no secrets up in that joint. There was no, like, come on, man. Look, come on. Yeah, y'all just want to have articles about this. Like, what Tom Cruise really meant. Like you super smart. Like, you figured it all out. You know what I'm saying? That's probably the same type of person that's going to try to tell you that the earth is flat. But anyway, yes, Sandra Thomas, I forgot Karen too. Karen be doing that. Karen going to tell you this ain't America if she got to wear a mask. She going to tell you that. So with that said, we got one last story that if you guys love heroes, you might remember this guy. His name, Leonard Roberts. He was also in the movie Drumline. And he was supposed to be a huge star.
Gonna be famous.
Gonna be on TV. Living out my dreams. But things was different. He writes this essay in Variety about how he was, in the pilot, supposed to be the star, one of the stars of the show. And he was casted with or to play against Ali Larter as her husband coming out of jail. He had powers. I believe she had powers too. And he tells the story about how she became very, very adversarial when it came to certain scenes with him. And he recounts one major scene where they were supposed to be in the bed together, kind of talking and stuff like that. And he talks about how she was so angry about that scene going into, she said he looked forward to sharing his thoughts with the character with like writers and stuff like other actors had done, and the writers didn't want to hear his thoughts on the character. While they did take notes and hear thoughts on the thoughts from white actors on their characters, then he also talks about episode 6. Saying episode 6 began filming in August 2006. D.L. Hawkins was in an interracial marriage with Nikki Sanders, Ali Larter's character, a white woman portrayed by Ali Larter. The script suggested D.L. and Nikki had a volatile relationship, and it wasn't long before art was imitating life, with me on the receiving end of pushback from my co-star regarding playing of a particularly tense scene. Coming from theater, I was familiar with passions running high in the process of bringing characters to life. So I later gave her a bottle of wine and a note affirming that I believed there was no harm, no foul. Like, look, I understand we're just actors. We're trying to get it right, trying to fix it. Don't trip. And then on another occasion during the staging of a bedroom scene, my co-star took umbrage with the level of intimacy being suggested between our characters. In a private rehearsal, Greg Beeman, our director, asked if she was willing to lower the straps on her top that she was wearing to expose her bare shoulders. My co-star, meaning Ali Larter, refused. And then it became a thing where she had to leave the bed, and they had a big argument away from him, Leonard Roberts, about how she didn't want to do it and she felt she was being violated. All kinds of things went over the top, right? But he found out that a co-star had been working on Heroes much longer than that played Nathan Petrelli. And if y'all remember, there was a scene where she had to seduce him. So he says he asked, like, hey, I had a scene with her while I was in the bed. She kind of went off. How was it with you? And he said that he replied to the contrary and mentioned her openness to collaboration and even improvisation. I pondered why my co-star had exuberantly played a different scene with Petrelli character involving overt sexuality while wearing lingerie, but found aspects of one involving love and intimacy expressed through dialogue with my character, her husband, disrespectful to her core. Quote, I couldn't help wondering whether race was a factor. It was a factor. And so the article is much longer, but he goes into, over this, her not wanting to be with him, her not wanting to be around him, he gets fired because of her. Once again, using those white woman tears, she gets him fired. All right, now peep this. They fire him on a voicemail. Like, yo, man, look, you fired, but check it. If you feel a certain way, you can always call me and ask. And it's like, what? So you're going to leave a message and be like, yo, you fired, but if you feel any way, just hit me up.
So you get to say all you want to say without me being able to respond and interact and then say, oh, you can call me, for you to probably dodge my calls if I do decide to call you.
Yes. So, and that was from Tim Kring, who was the creator and showrunner of Heroes. So he said he finally was like, you know what, fine, let's have a meeting. So he had a meeting with him, and when he had a meeting, I believe Greg Beeman was there, or there was another man there that was part of the production. I'm sorry, Dennis Hammer, that was also there. In the meeting, they were like, yo, we're sorry. Everyone hates Ali. We love you so much. But unfortunately, we just had to split ties and stuff, but we can't stand her. We all love you. We love you so much. And he's like, they even called it the Ali Larter situation. And I'm like, he said he was figuring if it's the Ali problem, then why am I gone? Why am I gone if it's the Ali problem? You know what I'm saying? Why am I the issue if it's the Ali problem? Like, why is the black man getting fired? And they were like, oh, we want to assure you that this isn't in any way, this isn't in any way, racist or racial, and we don't want you to think or feel a certain way. We really love you. We love your ability, but we can't have you up anymore. So they film a scene where he dies. He gets shot by gun violence. He says, I get shot. They don't even focus on my character. They focus on her character, and then the scene is cut. Right? But before then, they actually have this dude they actually asked this dude if he would do promo press for season 2 because no one knew he was going to be dead yet. And he was like, I'll pass. And of course, when he passed, he was in actor jail or whatever for the next, 5-10 years. And it just goes to show a perfect example of like, this is the type of stuff that goes on whenever, similar to today, Black Together or Walk in Her Shoes, similar to the situation that y'all were talking about with David and what was her name? Not Tammy. David and
the white girl. Beth. Her name was Beth.
David and Beth from Real World Los Angeles.
Very, very, very.
Once it's a problem for a white woman, then it's everybody's problem now. So, this dude straight up gets fired because she didn't want to work with him. Not because he did anything wrong. Everybody from the cast liked him. The writers, directors, everybody liked him. But he's got to go because she's the problem. So, anyway, article comes out. Twitter goes crazy. People started throwing up stats showing how many, Black or colored people of color were in season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4, season 5, as opposed to the growing number of white cast members and how it was a disparity. And then, of course, the people that they reached out to that did not have anything to say at first, now, after the article is written, have things to say, of course. And what I thought was funny in the responses is Tim Kring provided a statement saying this. He's the creator. He's the dude that had the most power on the set. He says, in 2006, I set out to cast the most diverse show on television. Diversity, interconnectivity, and inclusivity were groundbreaking hallmarks of Heroes. So too was the huge diverse cast that continually rotated off and onto the show, with none ever being written off based on their race. Looking back now, 14 years later, given the very lens that I view the world through today, I acknowledge that a lack of diversity at the upper levels of the staff may have contributed to Leonard experiencing the lack of sensitivity that he describes. Gaslighting, continue. I have been committed to improving upon this issue with every project I pursue. I remember Leonard fondly and wish him well. Gaslighting. Now, Allie Larter, she had something to say. Dennis Hammer, he had something to say. Dennis Hammer comes in and says, 14 years is a long time ago, but I remember clearly that Leonard was a great guy and a total pro. What does that have to do with what this story is about?
Address the issue at hand.
At all. This ain't got nothing to do, which means he right. Because if he was wrong, if he was lying, they would have straight out said, you lying, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Think about it. They white, they powerful, they got higher jobs than him. They got the power to shout him down and say he's wrong. He's not wrong. So Allie Larter, who had nothing to say at first until it blew up, then she want to respond and say, I'm deeply saddened to hear about Leonard Roberts' experience on Heroes. What? Gaslighting once again. And I'm heartbroken reading his perception of our relationship.
His perception.
Gaslighting again. Which absolutely...
When somebody uses the term perception,
your experience, like this something that didn't happen.
What they're saying,
like you just making.
What they're saying is,
I don't care.
No, what they're saying is, I'm calling you a little bit crazy because what you saying happened ain't really happened. This how you see it, but this ain't how it happened. So instead of me saying that, I'm gonna say your perception.
My dude. So anyway, and homie. I'm deeply saddened to hear about Leonard Roberts' experience on Heroes. I'm heartbroken reading his perception of our relationship, which absolutely doesn't match my memory nor experience on the show. I respect Leonard as an artist, and I applaud him or anyone using their voice and platform. I am truly sorry for the role I may have played
in his
painful experience during that time, and I wish him and his family the very best. Oh, the family that you took food out of their mouths? That family? You a cold piece, girl. Anyway, Variety made sure to let you know, my dude, just before we get started, we checked with 10 people to verify this story. And all 10 people said, yes, he's absolutely right. Now, they wanted to stay anonymous because they still want to keep jobs. But they said they spoke with 10 people. The Variety ain't just going to run this for fun. Variety is not the New York Post, all right? So they are not TMZ. Now, I'm not saying they're the best, but they do check sources. They spoke with 10 people that said, uh-huh. Now, all of a sudden, Ali Larter like, I don't know that. I don't remember. I'm so sorry, your experience. You want to wish my family well, the one that you took food out their mouth? I should mush you in your head. I can't do nothing else because I'm already a bald-headed black brother. You know if I did, but I just want to put my 2 fingers and just mush your head real hard. It's not only bad that you fired me because of her and other people didn't like her, and it was proven that I wasn't doing anything wrong on set at all. But then 14 years later, when I finally have the strength, the ability, the courage to be like, you know what? I know I'm still in this profession, in this industry, but I just got to say, I got to get off my chest because it's killing me. You know what I'm saying? Because it was supposed to be his spot.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be in the pilot episode. He was supposed to be a main cast member, no lower than Nathan Petrelli. And then he didn't show up until episode 6. And then they labeled his character, as far as a descriptor, white man's worst nightmare. Really? Because he's an ex-con with powers? Come on, man. Wow. So all of this white supremacy surrounding this situation, even the description of his character, how he was treated on set, how he was ignored, how he was fired, how he was treated in the scene between him and Ali Larter. And now you want to come back and be like, I don't remember nothing, his experience. I would have rather you just not made a statement.
Exactly.
I would honestly just don't make a statement, B. Like, don't even say nothing. Shouts to Hitflix saying if you didn't do anything to him, she would have been clear and said I didn't do anything to him.
Right.
She is horrible. Yeah, they would have been like, no, it didn't happen. This is what happened. That's fake. But once again, I'm sure Variety probably said in the email, because they said they sent emails to everybody to get comments for everyone he named. Notice they say, nah, he didn't, because I'm pretty sure in the email Variety also said, we have confirmed this story with 10 other people. Like, we're not just running this for fun.
Yeah.
We have confirmed this already. You know what I'm saying? Bruh. And Jenna James says she really blackballed that brother because, to be honest, his acting career went down the drain, and I never saw him on any other show. Heck, not even Tyler Perry shows where he gives actors, a lot of actors, first shots and redemption gigs. True. And we haven't seen him since. So she blackballed this dude and went on to enjoy her show. And they're going to wish my family well. When you literally took money out my family's household.
Because my thing is this.
I should smash you in your forehead.
If you don't want to have any love scenes.
Wish my family well.
If you don't want to have any love scenes with people of color or black people, then just be brave enough to be like, I don't want to have no love scenes with black men.
But then she can't be racist without saying that she's racist, though. See, you got to remember, the idea is covert racism. See, I want to be racist, but I don't want to be racist. Like, I don't want you to label me. Racist. I don't want you to label me
I don't want to
as racist.
I don't mind being racist. I'm cool with being racist. I'm not cool with you calling me out on it.
Thank you. I don't want to be called out on this. She said his perception. And then Tim Kring was like, dude, I had a whole butt meeting with you, son. Well, I had a whole meeting with you. Bruh. My dude. And, of course, here he is, years and years later, no roles. Because I'm pretty sure when people ask them why he's gone, they probably made up some stuff like, oh, he's hard to work with. Oh, we had to let him go. He couldn't get along with Ali Larter. They probably switched it. Because people behind your back be saying other stuff.
Here you go. There were some personality conflicts, and we had to make some choices.
And make it seem like he's crazy on set.
We had to change some things around, and you recast. Yeah.
Bruh.
Ali Larter, passive-aggressive stuff.
She was whack when she was on the show. But now that I know what went down, she's even whacker. And it actually tarnishes the first season, which is the only season worth watching. Maybe season 3. Maybe. I'll slide in a possibility for season 3. They did try to bring it back, but it was on its last leg. But season 3 did have some moments. But she had the nerve to sit up there and wish his family well. That's the one that gets me. Oh, boy. So, guys, with that said, we love all y'all. I would give a shout out to the chat. Jenna James, Boogsworthy, Andre Atkins, Lami in the house, Hitflix, Sandra Thomas, unless I already said it, Thomas Flowers, Geronimo Smith, Little Miss Chocolate. I don't know. We got Blue Knight, Zeus. I don't know if Alan Lewis came through, but if he did, shout out to Alan Lewis, Shot by Nolan, Tyler Bennett, those crazy guys. Look, y'all know the deal. Also, big shout out to Thought Crimes out there doing it. Double Toasted out there doing it. Blurtish, y'all be killing it. Y'all, hey, we here. And shout out to Robert Jeffrey, who dropped some new production art from Mind to Avenge issue number 3 that's coming. Yo, the joint is looking hot, my dude. Is looking hot. So, with that said, Lisa, say peace.
Peace, y'all. And thank y'all to everyone who has checked out Black Together, A Walk in Her Shoes. If you have not listened to that quite yet, you should. We have some fantastic topics and a lot more to come. But
Word up.
Thank you guys for listening.
And did you want to stream later tonight? Did you want to?
Y'all. So we missed
Tuesday because there were some technical difficulties.
Yeah, it was just stuff going on. So you know what, y'all? We gonna do
Black Together tonight. Black Together. 10 p.m. PST?
Yeah.
Late night for y'all.
Late
night. So Black Together tonight. Tomorrow we're talking about The Mandalorian. And Sunday we are doing something fun. So
we are?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll be doing something. But I'll be dealing with this hard drive issue as well. But look, guys, from us to you, we thank you for watching. We're going to leave y'all with Arcatron. That's ARCKATRON.com. And don't forget, NERDSoul is that ish for y'all. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Of course, right here is the hub. Hit that thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. Hit that thumbs down if you don't. But if you hit that thumbs down, I'm going to send Ali Larter after you. And you ain't going to like that. Also podcasts if you want to listen, and Spotify for that music. So I want to give a big shout out to, of course, my man, my main, my mellow, Arcatron. He's that dude. He got them beats. He's one of the 4 horsemen. Proud of him. He got new stuff coming. He got some new stuff coming with me. Dope stuff. So big shout out to all y'all. I'm gonna leave y'all. From us to you, we're just saying peace.
Bye, y'all.
Until later tonight, we're Black Together. We'll see y'all then. We out. We out. Yeah.